Hi everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for visiting with me today. This is kind of not a super prepared video because I just have some comments to make on Stephan Sterns. So I listened to his phone call with his parents, and then I went on and I watched Vinnie Politan at his live today, and I took some clips from his channel. Thank you, Vinnie Politan. And, you know, of the phone calls mainly that I want to talk about. And, you know, Stephan Sterns claims he didn't start it. And I don't care whether he started it, and I don't care what he's talking about. He did what he did to Madeline and deserves the DP. He deserves DP for what he did, period. Because he did what he did. Now, I know there is a huge possibility he didn't do this to her, but let's all be for real, you know. And yes, I do blame Jen. I do blame her as well. She did not properly protect her child from an actual monster who has been living with her and off and on and going at her child for years, and she knew nothing. How stupid. How blind. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, some people, sometimes these things are missed. I understand that, but it wasn't like they lived in a manor. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get into that, but I just find it, I know it's possible, but I just find it difficult to believe that this went on for that long and she had no idea. I think she's extremely selfish. I think she's an extremely self-absorbed woman and is so concerned about getting her prescriptions and taking her prescriptions that, you know, she talks about how hypervigilant she was with Maddie's medications and stuff, but I just, you know, how about be hypervigilant with the care of your child, period, in every aspect. Okay, I'm sorry, I got a little heated. I will calm down. But yeah, I do blame Jen, but you know, most of the blame is on Stephan Sterns. He's the criminal. He is the criminal. I know it's all alleged right now, but again, come on. And he can blame Jen, and his defense can blame Jen, but he was the one that was R-wording Madeline. And he was the last person to see her alive. At what time of night or morning that life ended, we don't know yet, but you know, maybe Jen knew and did absolutely nothing to protect her daughter. I mean, she did nothing to protect her, but you know, whether she knew or not, that really shouldn't affect Sterns as far as what happens to him goes. You know, he still did what he did, whether other people knew about it, whether other people allowed it, whether other people didn't stop it. He still did what he did. But, you know, anyway, listen to this gross creep.
How you been?
Well, you know, had the world's shittiest birthday present, so.
Yeah.
He had the world's shittiest birthday present. You know what is a shittier birthday present? Getting unalived right after your 13th birthday. Right after you turn 13, getting unalived by a man in his 30s who's been getting off on you for 5 years or more. That's shittier. That is shittier. He's an idiot. I think Madeline had the worst, shittiest birthday. She got the worst birthday present ever. And you know, he's not the only adult that was in Madeline's life that was upset about their birthday, because Jen Soto, during her birthday, during all this, her birthday occurred and she was like, it's the worst birthday ever. No, Madeline had the worst birthday ever. She turns 13 and gets unalived for it. I mean, I don't know if that's the reason, but you know what I'm saying. Essayed by this disgusting animal and then being unalived by him. What a pig. He's so selfish. I hate him. I hate him. I dislike a lot of the people we discuss when we're talking about true crime, but him, I don't know why it hits so close to home. Maybe it's because Madeline was going through this at a time in her life when I was going through it. And, I just think I could have easily been unalived too, Okay, so listen to this. Listen closely to this next clip.
So it's just an inconvenience.
Okay.
So did you hear that? I truly believe, and I've played this over and over again to make sure I heard it right, that he said he's being inconvenienced. Did he just say he's being inconvenienced? Oh, imagine the discomfort of being inconvenienced while in jail pending 2 trials for horrific crimes against a child. Oh, we're so sorry you're inconvenienced. You know what else is inconvenient? Being unalived at 13 years old by a pervert that can't keep his hands to himself. That's inconvenient. Little Madeline had more going on in her life than he's ever had going on in his sad, pathetic, worthless life. He's worth more to society in jail than he ever was on the outside. And not that he's worth anything there, but as a Florida resident and taxpayer, I'm so sorry you're being inconvenienced, Stephan Sterns. I'll make a sign and stand in front of the jail with my sign.
Were you expecting these charges?
No.
The murder charge.
Oh, well, you're not.
Okay, so you got blindsided by that.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not true. I never would have wanted her gone for any reason, so.
He's such an idiot. If he didn't see these charges coming, he's more stupid than I thought. Did he honestly think the CSAM wouldn't be found? Did he really think that material wouldn't be found? He's the last person to see Madeline alive. He didn't think he was gonna. This was a shock to him, and all the evidence points to him. There's plenty of film, video footage, and everything, and he's like, no, there's no video footage of the act of unaliving her, but her unalived in his car and all that. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just getting heated because I really hate this man. I really hate him.
Some woman got on a YouTube thing and said that you weren't even at the party.
Party?
Yeah, her birthday party.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet. I went up there Sunday evening and got there after she was done at her party.
Oh, okay.
And we were very happy that I was there. We were very happy that the 3 of us were together. It was shaping up to be a great week and a great visit. There was...
First of all, he wasn't at that party because Jen's mom doesn't like him. That's why he wasn't at the party. And yeah, it was shaping up to be a great visit. It was shaping up to be a great visit. He was going to be getting him what he thought was romantic loving from a little girl. He thought it was going to be a great visit. And he's acting like this visit being ruined is someone else's fault. Like it's someone else's fault the visit was ruined. Like he didn't have everything to do with the visit being ruined. He's the one that ruined everything. He ruined it years ago. He ruined Madeline. He ruined this years ago.
Driving around.
Okay, understood you were driving around, but they know where you were driving around.
Yeah. Well,
And we know.
Okay. I had wanted to grab a few things and get my ducks in a row, kind of prepare myself for whatever was coming, but...
What? what ducks did he need to get in a row? He don't have any kids. He doesn't have any property. He didn't have a job. He had absolutely nothing. There was nothing. What did he have to do? Make sure his all his toys were clean, that his lightsabers were organized properly. What ducks did he need to get in a row? He had no ducks to get in a row. You have to have ducks in order to get them in a row. And he knew that he'd be arrested. When he said he needed to get his ducks in a row, he knew he was going to get arrested. But he's so arrogant that I feel like he thinks he's smarter than everyone. You know, he's smart. He thinks he's smarter than everyone else when he's just plain dumb. He thinks he's smarter than the cops, the detectives, people who have been doing their job for years. He thinks he's smarter than them.
I mean, you asked me to come up, and we hardly spent 35 minutes the entire time I was there throughout the entire day. And it's like, I wasn't sure why I was there, and then I was caught off guard by what happened later that afternoon, and obviously I haven't seen you since.
Yeah, well, I just felt like I needed an ally there.
Well, I wish you had come to me and talked to me about some stuff, and maybe we could have helped you out in some way, giving you some advice. But certainly, under the extenuating circumstances, what was later discovered obviously couldn't help you any further than what had already taken place. So the most logical thing would be to have, face up to it and have a conversation with the appropriate authorities or.
Now, I can understand what his dad is saying, and he knows his son is guilty. He knows this. And his dad is not going easy on him in this phone conversation at all. But the only advice he could have really given him is turn yourself in and tell the truth for once. For once in your life, tell the truth. I mean, they could have advised him, but that would have really been the only advice they could have given him. And I don't know. And how do you talk to your parents about that? Well, Mom, well, Dad, I've been R-wording Madeline for 5 years, and it came to a head, and I strangled her to death and hid her body in the woods. So what do I do now? I don't just, and what an embarrassment. Like, he's an embarrassment to his parents too. Like, oh, look, those are the people that raised that guy that R-worded that little girl for so long.
Well, the penalty for the crimes you have been charged with carry a minimum 40-year sentence. So obviously we're going to be gone. Rick will be gone. We'll all be gone. I mean, we're sad about that, obviously, because there won't be anybody here for you when you come out.
Yeah, and I'll be lucky if I have another 40 years left in me either, so.
He's never getting out. He is never getting out. He's getting life for the CSAM. I don't know where this 40 years is coming from. I have no idea where that 40 years is coming from. This is Florida. He's getting life for the CSAM, period. And there's no way he could deny any of that. I have no idea what the defense for that will be, but he's getting life for the CSAM. And if there's any justice, he's getting the DP for unaliving Madeline. And I do think it will go there because Florida is a gung-ho state about that. And what's funny, and I don't mean to bring Wade Wilson up, this video isn't about him, but all those women that I had made some remark about them on TikTok and all worshiping him and stuff, and they were like, well, it's not that I think he's hot. I mean, he is hot, but I'm just opposed to the death penalty. Well, why aren't you running to Stephan Sterns' rescue? It's because they think he's hot, but that's another story.
And that, I guess, things fix.
I wish there was a way that, you and I can have a conversation, all of us could have a conversation to understand what's taken place, how this came about, how you arrived here, because it would help us better understand the situation, because we're at a loss for understanding how all this came about. I mean, we're just totally baffled.
Well, I didn't start it.
I actually feel bad for his parents. I really do. I really do. And you know, they're probably blaming themselves for this. They probably are. I mean, a parent does tend to blame themselves when their kids do something or get sick or whatever. And, you know, and I didn't start it. What does that mean? What is that? Is he trying to say Madeline started it? Or is he trying to say Jen let it happen? She started it. Started what? What does he mean? Is he trying to say, you know, oh, I was seduced by Madeline? Or is he trying to say, well, Jen let me sleep with her? Or, you know, because in his sick mind, Jen letting him sleep in the bed alone with her, which she never should have done anyway, but in his mind, that was permission. So I really want to know what he meant by that. It doesn't make a difference. It's not going to make a difference in his case. It isn't. And I don't know. Is he talking about the essay, or is he talking about the unaliven, or both? You know, what didn't he start? I mean, Jen did let it happen. I'm not excusing her at all, but you know, I didn't start it. I really want to know what he meant by that. I really want to know. I got to go to that trial. I do.
In the meantime, I'll try to call back in the next couple of days and we'll talk some more. If you wouldn't mind putting a little more money in my commissary as well.
All right, I can't do much stuff because we are really, when I say dead ass broke, I mean dead ass broke, but I'll do what I can.
Yeah, put more money in my commissary. Put more money in my commissary. And Dad basically said no. This guy, ugh. He's a piece of work. There's no reason he couldn't be working, you know, before this happened. Maybe if he was working, he would have been more occupied with a job than doing what he's been doing for years. You know, and you know, tons of places are hiring. Tons. You know, they may not be dream jobs, but, you know, manage your expectations and get a job. But I guess he doesn't really have to worry about that anymore, does he? They'll find him a job. They'll find him something to do. So anyway, that's it. I just had to get that off my chest with y'all. So we are going to talk more about him in a more organized, more, I guess, dignified fashion. But I'm going to go because I am working on my notes for a Nicholas Go to John video I'm doing. And it is becoming quite lengthy. So I have to work on it some more. It may have to be a multi-parter. But I will talk to everyone later. Thank you so much for joining me. And love y'all. Bye.